Hello, dear all. My name is Senem. I'm a master's student at Japanese Language Education Master Program. I will present my study named Cultural Transfer in Textbooks of Teaching Japanese as a Foreign Language, a case study on Minno no Nihongo. Throughout history, countries have interacted each other for many reasons, including political, social, and commercial. For this reason, people have had to communicate with foreign countries and different cultures. In developing and changing world, the necessity of knowing a foreign language has emerged in order to communicate smoothly and clearly. A foreign language learner understands not only the target language, but also the target society and the culture. Because knowing a foreign language does not mean just knowing grammar or vocabularies. It also requires learning the cultural elements that language has. Only in this way, the language can be used effectively. Teaching only grammar doesn't enable students to evaluate the events in the world consciously. Being well equipped to communicate means knowing the culture of used language. In this study, the importance of cultural transfer in teaching foreign language is emphasized. The better we know the culture of the country whose language we learn, the easier we will acquire the language, because language and culture are the building blocks of society. That's why language and culture cannot be considered separately from each other. As you see, there are some definitions about language and culture, but I would like to summarize them. A language is a part of a culture, and a culture is a part of language. So they cannot be separated. In order to successfully transfer the culture in foreign language teaching, attention should be paid to the content of textbooks. Being successful at language learning depends on gaining cultural knowledge. For this reason, learners get to know cultural background knowledge to contact in the target language and also raise the awareness in the target language. Textbooks are the main teaching materials in the classroom and also one of the important tools of cultural transfer. Since culture is an essential for language, teaching culture should be at the beginning of a language learning. In order to use and understand the relevant language, acquisition of social and cultural knowledge are required. For this reason, the textbooks used in teaching Japanese as a foreign language should focus on text introducing Japanese culture in all aspects. As you see, the aim of the study is to analyze the cultural elements in Minno no Nihongo, one of the textbooks used in teaching Japanese as a foreign language. This analysis also contribute to the field by providing data to prepare a new Japanese textbook. As a method, document analysis is used. The study is limited to the text used in 50 units of Minno no Nihongo. All reading text in Minno no Nihongo 1 and 2 used to teach Japanese to foreign students were analyzed unit by unit. Although there are 50 units in the book, a limited number of objects that reflect the target culture are encountered. For example, until the 16th unit, there are almost no cultural elements in reading text. As you see, there's a table. It shows the cultural elements in Minno no Nihongo. As I said before, there are 50 units in the book, but as you see, there are just 10 units that include cultural elements, Japanese cultural elements. Although the book has many units, very few of them include cultural components. The parts or text including cultural elements are not clear or explained well. When the text is read, a learner who is the first time hear the target language, I mean Japanese, cannot infer from the culture in text easily. The choice of the text for foreign language learners is not proper. Cultural items planned to be taught should be distributed equally into all levels of the book set. In other words, cultural elements that will facilitate the life of the person should be presented at all levels. However, Mino Nihongo doesn't meet these criteria. Language learners are faced with many different types of text formats, such as menus, articles, tickets, warnings, letters like these. For this reason, in order to improve reading skills in foreign language, teaching these text forms in real life should be included in the target textbooks reading units. I mean, we should see different text formats in the target language textbook. One of the most used educational materials during the education process should take some tasks. The firstly, everyone may not get the opportunity to learn a foreign language in its natural environment. So, these educational materials, I mean textbooks, take on this task. I would like to share the most popular definition about relation between culture and language. Language is a flesh and culture is a blood. Without culture, language would be dead. Without language, culture would have no shape. If someone who learns Japanese as a second language doesn't have the chance to learn the language in its natural environment, he will first try to acquire the language from the books. While preparing textbooks, they should be planned thoroughly. The plan should answer how much importance attached to culture, and also it should answer what kind of structures should include cultural elements. The more a language learner knows the culture of the target language, the more easily he understands the text he is reading. It is the culture that facilitates language acquisition and emphasizes with society. Therefore, the effects of language and culture on each other cannot be denied. So, culture cannot be left to later. Thank you for your attention.